Okay, good evening. Going back to some more Brutality on Venus. So we got our furnaces primed. We've got our furnaces in temperature range, give or take. The one furnace I'm still a little concerned with, but we're doing good. And I think we're to the point where we can consider writing some code here in a bit. Yep. The heating system is hot.
Low pressure. Oxygen low.
All right.
Oxygen critical.
So hopefully I can pull this off. I am a little bit beat. So we'll do a quick recap on...
Oxygen low. Pressure critical.
Put that calculator right in my way. There we go.
Temperature critical.
Just trying to get my hand steady here. So, okay. So we have our 4 furnaces, and they can make up air or blow some air into the system there. That's that is my Venus atmosphere temperature sink. So, okay. And like I said, this is the one that I want to be the most careful about because it is set to, I think, 1850, so it's exactly where it's supposed to be. But if it switches over where it wants to warm up, that pipe that it's connected to, that red pipe, is actually cooler than it. So it will indeed cool itself, or cool it down. But let's see where we got. Okay, all those valves are off. Looks like that one is at its temperature range too. So, okay, so this is the only one that I'm concerned about. As long as it's holding. One thing that is important to note is I made these little rooms to make sure that there's some atmosphere in there, and it'll serve as a little bit of a heat buffer too. So this doesn't do me any good. The only one with any exposed pipe really is these two. So you can see that this is still convecting a kilojoule of energy off. So I have to make sure that that's kept in check. And this one is, yeah, it's almost done radiating all heat. But it can make up hot and cold based on the 2 different pipes. So the 3 of these, excuse me, 3 of these cool using the Venus atmosphere. One of them heats using the Venus atmosphere. One of them cools using the base cooling system, which is right now struggling to keep up. And then the other 3 heat up using, currently my furnace gas that is hooked to the H2 combustor. So that one I might actually have to put some more heat exchangers on, I think, possibly. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so this is set to 1577 is the temperature set point. So if it goes down to 1567, it'll kick on the heating pipe, which will cool it. And if it goes up to 1587, it'll turn on the cooling pipe, which will cool it. So I got to make sure that I keep... So I got a little fuel here that I can keep injecting in for some additional temperature if I need it. For instance, I just throw a little bit of volatile in. And it'll bring the temp up a little bit. So 77 is the set point. Which I don't know where we actually started with that. But this gas is really cold, so it has a tendency to cool the system down a bit. But yeah, we went up a couple degrees without overrunning it. Last time I overran it and turned on the cooling valve, which would be no good. So, okay. So how am I going to organize the data and do the programming? Oh my goodness, why am I so loud? My goodness, I apologize. Move the mic away from my face a little bit. So, as far as the reagents, I'm going to kind of, I got to figure out, so there's going to have to be a recipe. I don't know, I got to figure that out. But I'm going to pull the, I don't have the other one. Pull the configuration off, or quantity out of these. These are only going to be full stacks of ore. So my base recipe is going to be something that can make, I don't know, make 500 if that's what I want to do. Or that probably would be the easiest. So I got to make sure that a particular item can be made. And then I will do an export count on these and count up until, you know, if I need 2 cobalt ore, wait until 2 stacks of cobalt ore have dumped. And then, you know, the next thing and next thing. Turn on the furnace, which in this case, or shut a valve so it will divert into the furnace that it's supposed to. It's supposed to degas. Now this one, temperature-wise, I think we're okay, other than I can't throw lead through here. So actually what I want to do is, I want to grab my backpack. Haha! Oh, you need 2 stackers? Do I have another stacker floating around? Sorter. Okay. This would save me a lot of effort. I still have some gas I need to, or ores I need to degas. Oh my goodness. Clicky! Stacker! Kit stacker. I just need 1 for the auto lathe. I need iron and copper. I may not actually have the copper. Apparently I'm very twitchy. Oh, I got the copper. Overshot. Ah. Okay, there we go. Excuse me. Sorry, I should have been muted. Got a frog in my throat or something. Alright, for right now, it needs power. What the heck are we doing here? Okay, this is go right there with that. Maybe it won't. So I can actually get to it. And this is just temporarily. Payload and recipient. So, recipient. So that'll help. So what I'm going to do is empty this out, and I'm going to go ahead and run the degas sequence on all of this. Careful about that one. Lead ore, we're going to leave that one alone because that one can smelt at the temperature it's currently running at. This backpack is full. Wow. Was not anticipating that. Guess it shouldn't surprise me. Okay. Let's see, silver ore, silicon ore. So everything but the lead. Okay. There we go. So we chuck that through. Go degassed. It's actually the pipe network temperature is increasing. I might have to get rid of that tank in there. That might be part of my problem. But I'm trying to remember, I think this might be Venus atmosphere in there. So or maybe I actually have no idea what I injected into that room. Okay. Oh, this is doing good. The temperature's not going anywhere. But this also might be fully degassed ore that made it in. See that the temperature is slowly increasing. But I'm also slowly injecting more pressure into here. So one of the problems I'm going to have, and I've got to be very wary of, is my nitrous. Any nitrous that I put into the system is going to liquefy. And at these temperatures, pollutant is also going to liquefy. So I've got to separate those out at some way. Yeah, this still isn't doing a rapid fire through there, so we're doing good. Boy, that took forever to unload. Okay. Let's check our 74, so we're 3 down. Shouldn't be a problem. Good. We still... Well, still good. I don't know if there were any rapid fires or not. But this temperature is kind of slightly dropping, so some of that coal does have gas in it. Yeah. So that's going to be a long process. That's what that's going to be. That's fine. I guess I need to check the other pipes, make sure we're not doing anything funny. Okay, everything's looking okay. Yeah, it's gotta be just that, those pipe networks over there. That's fine. Okay, so, geez, 12% of my network frames is dropping. I think this is a Twitch problem. Of course, we're having a cooling problem.
Low pressure. Oxygen critical. Pressure critical. Temperature critical.
Okay, this is 0, so that's good. We're still purging stuff here. And you know what we'll do is swap that out. I think that's just this pipe. Yeah. Because the cooling efficiency's bottomed out. That's fine. We are, yeah, we're loading the system here, loading the system here. It's pretty hot. We're singing in the song. So, I mean, these are starting to push out the heat. 33. Oh, we might actually be getting a little bit of load spread here. Good. 238. Okay. Yeah. Still need more evaporators, so maybe we'll order a couple of those up. A trusty screwdriver.
Low pressure. Oxygen low. Pressure critical. Oxygen critical. Temperature critical.
Okay. Phase change device. 3. I know it needs Invar. That's constant tan, but flip that over there. Constant tan. Got enough Invar. Whoa! Copper. Copper's over here. Then after that, insulated liquid pipes. Done with red. We're going to be doing blue. Yep, okay. Now, have to think about what I want to do to get the furnacing. So sheets, pipe, oh, there's one chute. I can leave a chute here. Okay. Now, insulated liquid pipes. think 30 is fine. I can run that. That works. Okay. So we'll have enough to get where we need to go as far as that goes. Maybe I should take the yellow pipes. Is anybody that needs to be topped off? No? Okay. I think I need... I forget what the number is. I think it's more than 5 per... Yeah. So if I take a full stack of the insulated pipe with me, I might be okay. I might be okay. We'll see. But if I can dump more of the heat from the from that system, the better.
Low pressure. Oxygen critical. Pressure critical. Temperature critical.
Yeah. Singing. Now these directly over the top systems. Doesn't work in this case. So I gotta figure out that. Also, I have no idea why my frames are so low. What is going on? What is going on? I blame Microsoft. Okay. So, one thing I do know is that with these, I'll be doing this. We would have 3 right there. Do we roll it in front? Might be the way I should be doing this. Get out of there! I think I can still interact with it, but if I end up putting, yeah, I don't know if I can finagle that. So there we go. Yeah, that should be good. Now I can drop another system in. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. That looks about right. And then liquid pipe. Hey. Gas pipe. I might as well bring it up in the corner, right? Okay. I don't... No, I might have enough cable there. Look up. Now. Actually, maybe I should point them down. I don't know. It's getting pretty darn cramped over here. It's fine. Okay. Go. Now for the coolant. Which maybe we'll just... This is this. Oh. It's mismatched. Of course it's going to be mismatched. Why wouldn't it be mismatched? Right? Am I right? Why wouldn't it be mismatched? Okay. It's ridiculous. Okay. Bam. Okay.
Hunger caution.
Okay, so we don't have enough liquid. At least in those systems, so there we go. So we are now to the part where... Okay. Alright, 60K of condensation. Way too much over here. But these new ones are a little bit light on liquid, so we have to get some liquid. Forget what the capacity is on these suckers. It's talking. It's talking. One more. No, we added a bunch more. So probably 2 more tanks of water. Still have some pressure over here. I'm starting to get a little bit of liquid, so you're 20 liters, 20 liters, 20 liters, 20 liters, 20 liters, 20 liters. So it looks like we... Alright. There we go. We're doing good. We got, I think, one more load of water. We might be pretty good. Maybe two. I don't know. One for sure. Hello, Clumsy Scarlet. It's going pretty good. Just trying to get my water phase change system to catch up with the rest of the party here. There we go. We got some 20 liters of water in the pipes. If it stays like that, that'll be impressive. Maybe one more load. Maybe one more load. Then I'll be happy. Got the singing pipes. Actually, I think I drained what I've condensed. That's the end of it. For now. But I'm really overloading my cooling system, so... This only has about 12 more degrees of... Oh, it's going down. That's good. 12 more degrees of useful realm of control, so... We are singing the songs of the people. Okay. We are... We're still at 35 megapascal. Pulling the carbon dioxide out of that? Interesting. Yeah, I'm not. That might have something to do with it. So this is carbon dioxide from outside, so... I gotta put a valve in here. That's what it is. I gotta put a valve here. Get a valve over here.
Low pressure. Pressure critical. Oxygen low.
Oh, okay.
Oxygen critical.
Yeah, I am a little bit behind on uploading my videos to YouTube. Yeah. Just this, that, and the other thing, and so yeah, I've made some improvements. Valve. I wanted a valve. There's the pipe valve I'm looking for. This just has to be a manual one-way valve. That's all I need.
Low pressure.
And
Oxygen
to get down
critical.
below. So.
Pressure critical. Temperature critical.
Yeah. And see if that's good enough. But in the meantime, technically I need another one. Yeah. I need a second valve. Okay. So I can pick and choose. It's too bad there's not a three-way
Oxygen low.
three-way valve.
Oxygen
That would be good.
critical. Temperature critical.
What I wanted to do today was get my automatic smelting furnaces online and running, which reminds me I actually need to check something. Valve. Single valve pipe bender. Probably gonna need gold. No, just iron and copper. That's what I need. Spit it out. Thank you. And let's... I left this running. That's funny. Oh crap. You're trying to heat up, which means you just dropped a bunch of temperature. Pump in my fuel mix, and hopefully it's good enough. It doesn't look like it is. Yeah, it's getting somewhere. Singing pipes. That's not going to be enough. Yeah, that's exactly what I didn't want to happen, is I forgot about that. So, what's happening there is the line that is supposed to heat that system is cooler than what it's actually is, so yeah.
Low pressure. Oxygen low. Pressure critical.
Okay.
Oxygen critical.
We're going to drink some water. Water. I think I'm okay on the volatile for now. I really should print off another valve, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. No time for a break.
Oxygen low.
Actually, I could close
Low
that for
pressure.
now.
Oxygen critical. Pressure critical.
So,
Temperature critical.
problem is I don't necessarily want to blow the temperature up like crazy. There's that. Brown pipe. Okay. Is this the... This is the waste pipe. This is the way. Gotta go right there. Don't pop the frame. Ah, shit bad, shit bad, shit bad, shit bad, shit bad, shit bad.
Temperature critical.
Shit, 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 shit.
Temperature high.
Woo! It's exactly what I didn't want to happen. Well, the good thing is that was a more of a push area in here than anything. God damn it! That is exactly what I was trying not to do, and I did it anyway. I hate that frames are disassembled by a wrench. Maybe I just, well, can't really start using walls. So we do this. Ah. Crap. That's actually not ideal. That is actually not ideal. You know what? Yeah, so that's an outside frame right there. I just polluted my base with a bunch of... the pollutant content's pretty low. So I just injected a bunch of carbon dioxide and nitrogen in here, which is okay. That's fine. The temperature is kind of irritating. Feel like there's another nugget of charcoal floating around somewhere. There it is.
Power low.
It's 200. 200. There we go. Singing pipes. We're back to vacuum over here. Which means we still don't have enough evaporators to keep up. Why is my... hang on. It's like my FOV changed. I don't know. That's really weird. I'm really holding that tablet out there. Ah, crap. Okay, so this is... Are we actually coming down in temperature? Okay, is our temperature... Alright, I think I can take my suit off. I don't think the pollutan's going to be a problem. There's that frame. Okay. So... Alright, that's down... Good enough. Okay, so what I just figured out, and this is going to be a problem... Yeah. So my waste gas was just being recycled into the... Oops. Crap. You know what? I'm going to pull this one. Less chance of screwing that up. There we go. There we go. So now if I crack this open... The carbon dioxide will actually start coming out of this pipe. There we go. So 6 kilomoles, which... Okay, yeah, it's a drop in the bucket. These filters really should have pumps on the outputs. This one's in trouble. If I pull any oxygen into here, it's going to immediately combust. So, good golly. I mean, the cooling system's already too high. So... There we go. Fill up my fuel tank here. And this will do two things. So I'm making steam and passing it off and heating up the outside furnace. And then I'm going to use this to heat up my inside furnace, so it should be heating up the same gas, essentially. Alright, that's close enough to me. Wonder if I plastic clad the frames, if it would stop. Let me check that.
Low pressure. Oxygen low. Oxygen critical. Pressure critical.
Yeah, so I need a crowbar to deconstruct that. So maybe that's what I need to do, is start lining all my frames with plastic. just as an added protection against that kind of crap. So, alright. Oh yeah, so this is a really cold system now. It's supposed to be 1677, I think is the number. Yeah. Well, let's see if injecting this fuel I can get up there. Warm up. Go. Yeah, I don't think it's going to get all the way up there. A lot of singing pipes. Eventually I need to get that airlock actually functioning. It's kind of funny that this room is still cool. So the airflow throughout the base is very slow.
Low pressure. Oxygen
Which is
critical.
fine.
Pressure critical. Temperature critical.
Fill this up some more. I should really
Power low.
check this out. Power low, yeah, I guess. You're getting quite happy. Let's throw the nitrogen out. Oop. I'm still trying to figure out why this system is... Huh. The furnace is gaining temperature from something. I guess that room is really that hot. Okay, well that's kind of interesting. So oh, you know what? Maybe I could use the furnace as a heat exchanger. It's kind of working. Yeah, look at the amount of energy that the furnace is absorbing now. That's very fascinating. Okay. Good to know. You were blowing off carbon dioxide and nitrogen. The nitrogen is not a very good gas as far as thermal conductivity and all that goes, so I would much rather have the pollutant because that actually has some thermal mass to it. Steam was another way of going, is make a really hot batch of steam because that has a lot of thermality to it. Turn you off, empty you out. I'm still running a little bit. Really just want to get the furnace up to snuff. That's what I want to do. My cooling problems are temporary. So how are we doing? Guess that's the other thing. How are we doing over here? This pipe is kind of warm, or hot. Ooh, got O2 in there. I think that's just coming off of the H2 combustor, so... Got like 20, almost not 20, like 17 liters of water sitting there. The pollutant actually should be working because I think that's going to pump on it. Yeah, that's funny. Good over here. And we still have liquid. We have lots of gas, so 134. I think we're still struggling. Over here, we don't have enough evaporators. It's getting a little out of hand. I guess if I continue this, I can put it out another 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe even 6 phase change devices. But then these guys would have to keep up. Which, how are we doing out there? The AC units are actually doing pretty good. I don't know. It's not how I envisioned to get today going. Whatever. I want to pull the O2 out of here, or... I mean, how much O2 really is in there? Nothing. And it's burning off, so it doesn't matter. More heat? I don't know. I guess I can take the suit off. I'm not going outside anymore.
Low pressure. Pressure critical.
Ah.
Oxygen critical. Temperature critical.
Hello. There we go. Oh, I guess I did leave that furnace running. Doesn't matter. Okay, so the temperature here is doing much better. Because I think, what did I say? 1850 minus 273, so 1577. So we're like 150 degrees off. I can get the temperature up. Now, if I immediately dump another 2 loads of fuel in there, I might actually be able to get to a responsible level. This is not programming my furnaces like I want it to be.
Low pressure. Oxygen critical. Pressure critical. Temperature critical.
Okay, do we have any... Nope, that's empty, so let's make a mix. What I need is a storm. Come Come on. Come on, Storm. Alright, that's good enough for me. Let's go drop another tank in, try to get the temperature up.
Low pressure. Pressure
I don't
critical.
want the tank to
Oxygen
get too
low.
warm, because then it's going to dump
Critical.
further into the... Well, not really into the cooling system. But it's going to dump into the atmosphere. And that's a waste. Okay, go temperature. This is going to be the hardest one to maintain. Because I got to keep that super hot line super hot. And I'm really starting to think that pipe heaters might actually be a good thing. But I know those take so much energy. Is this going to get us? It's got to get over 1567. It's not going to make it. So close. So close.
Low pressure. Oxygen critical. Pressure critical.
Yeah, been going for an hour and haven't even touched what I want to do. Well, your temperature's kind of coming down. Kind of. Alright, good enough for me.
Low pressure. Oxygen low. Pressure critical. Oxygen critical. Temperature critical.
I do have some fuel in the furnace too, so that's... Got, I don't know, 300 megapascals, or not, megapascals. No, not megapascals. 300 kPa in there. I say 1577 is what it is. 1850 minus 273. Yep, 1577 is the set point. So I just got to get it above 1567 for it to stop trying to heat it up. So we're almost there, we're almost there, we're almost there, we're almost there. And there, that valve should shut off, so this temperature should actually come up pretty good. I want to keep it below 1587 though, because that'll turn on the cooling valve. That would be bad. Okay, so back to where we need to be. Of course, this is way over pressure where it needs to be. That's okay. I'm going to inject a little bit more, so I got some time. Okay. Alright. How much? Used up most of that tank. Might as well top that off. And then I can get back into trying to think about the coating thing. Side project after side project after side project.
Low pressure. Oxygen critical.
And let the cooling system catch up. That's, I think, the most important thing. Okay. Goose it, just so I get more. Too bad I can't see the temperature directly on that furnace, which I did leave that running, so that might be a good idea to check on that. Yeah, okay, so the temperature of the system is coming up, which is good. That's what I want. That's exactly what I want, is the temperature in this to come up. Because this essentially needs to be above that 1577. So the hotter this is, the better. Alright, so I'm imagining that room in here is very, very hot. I'm actually tempted to see how hot. I'm kind of scared. Am I going to burst into flame? That's, it's not really that hot. That's crazy. Okay. I don't know. I'm going through my cooling like crazy. It's actually gonna suck air in. Alright. That wasn't too bad. I was curious. But I do think that heat exchanger might actually have to increase in size. Because this is... yeah. Temperature's coming down now. And that might be just because of the amount of air that I polluted into it. I could have checked it right here. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so I pulled a bunch of heat out doing that. That was great. Whatever. Okay, now we know. Now we know. So I may want to consider throwing a larger heat exchanger onto that network. Alright, fine. Let's change out the battery. Okay. Let's let everything catch up. I guess it's food and water.
Low pressure. Oxygen critical. Pressure critical. Temperature critical.
Not exactly sure why I'm showing something on my body. Whatever. Eat, drink, be merry, shower, then programming. I promise, programming. Alright. There we are. Okay. Alright.
Oxygen low. Low pressure.
So I may need
Oxygen
multiple
critical.
scripts.
Pressure critical. Temperature critical. Low pressure. Oxygen critical. Pressure critical. Temperature critical.
Before I forget, I need to... There we go. Before I forget. Alright, that's taken care of. Do. Brown pipes are extra. Liquid pipes. Okay. So... Yep, so I need to determine the the recipes and mix ratios. So of all the things that we need, the idea is to make a 500 stack. That's what I want to make. So I could have something literally... Let's pull out the scratch pad here. Okay. This is... That's what's loaded into the chip right now. For the furnace self-control. Their furnace temperature itself, I think, needs to be also in here, but I'm not doing that right now. Clear. Okay, so how do we want to define this? So we're going to have recipe. Let's define the data structure. So at 0 offset, we're going to have the item to be created. Yeah, example given, hash, iron, ingot. Reagent 1 for 500 grams stack. Hash, item, iron, ore, and then some quantity. This would require 10 stacks. For min 500 stack. Right. 2 reagent 3 trying to remember. Stellite 3 items. Hastelloy 3 items. Okay. So I think maximum of 3, but maybe we'll reserve for, I don't know. Because nothing, I think, uses more than 3 ingredients, at least for the smelting process. So in this case, possibly... Sure... required? So here's an option. I could do the furnace that I'd be cooking it in. Or the low temperature, high temperature, and then low pressure, high pressure. That's the thought. This, at least, I could get rid of this one and then be just the low pressure, high pressure. Or just set the target pressure. And that might be the solution. I'm not going to be cranking out ingots and ores all the time, that sort of thing. But, trying to think. So this is how it would be lined up. So we got the reagents, furnace it needs to be in, target pressure, and this will cover the temperature. Temperature. Target pressure. Is there anything else that I really need? I don't think there's any more information I need to know. Whoops. That's not what I meant to do. Nope. Definitely not what I meant to do. This is what I meant to do. Make sure... Okay, 74. We're doing good. Oh, jeez. I don't even have the fuel canister in there. I just want to make sure that doesn't drop down, because that's a pain in the butt. So originally I was thinking...
Pressure. Oxygen critical.
The...
Pressure critical. Temperature critical.
Have something checking the silos to see if a particular item can be made. And, like, yes or no. Whatever's asking for the particular item could probably do that as well. That is a thought. Okay. Oh, I may have overdone it. As that blue one might kick on, and then that's a waste. It's a waste. No! Blue one's kicking on. Yeah. So now I'm dumping heat into this guy. Which then has to dump heat into the Venus atmosphere. Oopsie poopsie. But everybody else, good, right? Staying good. Yeah, so this is still bleeding heat into the room. 1.28 kilojoules of it. Figured eventually it'd slow down, but whatever. Okay, back to the task at hand. So, yeah, and what do we have for... What am I going to cook? I'm going to cook copper. I'm going to cook gold, cook silver, iron. I think nickel's used for stuff. Like nickel ingots, that is. Silicon. I think that's it for the basic. The other possibility is lead, but no. I don't know how I want to organize this. Lead. I don't think I'm not planning on cooking that. Then there's solder, electrum, steel. Now this one's going to be special because it might actually have to be used in yeah. That one's going to be interesting. Steel, Constantan, Invar, and then we're Waspaloy, Inconel, Hastiloy, Astroloy, and then Stellite. So we've got potentially 16... Yep, 16 types of material that I'll be tracking. So if I use a 16 by 10 for the stack size, that's 160. That still leaves me with, I think, 512 stack space. Actually, I think I might even be able to... Must have accidentally hit that button. Device configuration. So let's go to an IC housing that's exposed. There was one in the furnace room I could have done. Come here. Stack size 512, right there. Yeah, okay. So 512 available memory spaces to do this. So that leaves a lot of room there. But the problem is I'm going to have to... I only have 128 lines of code, so there will be literally a chip just to insert the stack. To manipulate the stack. Okay. Okay. That's kind of terrible. Okay. Yes. I think I gotta think about that for a little bit. So technically I could do... Yeah, low temp, high temp, low pressure, high pressure, so... I don't know. Just for plotting out. The original thought that I did have was one furnace to rule them all, but then it would have to actively manage its heat, and I could see that being a problem. So, you know... Yeah, no, okay. So essentially... Yeah. Alright. So for each... iterate through... 10 addresses at a time. Until we reach a null value, essentially. And we would read item to be made. Read silos against quantity needed. Zero through... Four, five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different reagents. Right to a memory chip. Read item hash to be made with item hash as name. 1 equal true. 0 equal false. Just trying to think of how that would work. Read item hash. Read destination silo to see if order is needed. Say quantity less than 10? I don't know. 5. 5 sounds reasonable for most cases. If needed. And then read silos. If able to be made, then write a chip true or false. And then place order? I don't know. I'm gonna take a quick break and take a quick break. Make sure. Yeah, I'm gonna think about this for a second. Why did I do that? Okay, so take a quick break. Be right back. If you need to get up and get around, it's a good idea. So I will be right back. All right, let's do the correct combination of keys and buttons and stuff here. So I am back now. Okay, so had a little think about this. So now I don't know if I need to do this memory chip. I guess it depends on how the process goes. Because one option is to have a dispenser, have monitoring a order memory chip. So instead of writing to a memory chip with the item hash as a name, maybe write item hash to a specific chip. For order to start. And then have dispense the required reagents, then write number of items dispensed to another chip. And then this one can and that might not even be required, because this order dispenser is going to be able to monitor this, turn which pump on, set that. So maybe the dispenser is what actually makes the order. I guess it all comes down to how many lines of code it takes to iterate through all this. So let me throw this into a notepad so I can start brainstorming. Okay, and I will do that so I can still see some stuff. If I start dropping like crazy, okay, I can still see. Okay, so clear. So let's talk the dispenser, right? Order system dispenser. I don't want to do this. Define. What do I need to do first? I guess I need to define the recipe chip. A reference to the recipe chip. And I'm going to have to know a index for current recipe. Right? Yeah, okay. Okay, so what do we have? I don't think anything. So the idea here would be to move icur recipe. So this is the recipe index to 0. So we have to get into this would be hash item produced from reference recipe chip. Address is going to be yeah, let's do a recipe address. This is going to be multiply icur recipe recipe address 10. So that's the base. That'll give me the item we're producing. Right. And then we need to make basically a for loop here. Some of these probably could be whatever, but let's move it to 1 because that's what I need. Oh, well, you know what? Move it to 0. Move it to. I gotta think about that. Add after the loop. Okay, so we will. Now we have to get. Possibly could rename. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Hash. Reagent. Yeah. And right off the recipe chip at address. Add R15, so that's going to be this very brief thing. It's going to be recipe address plus I offset. Branch equals 0. Maybe branch relative, I don't know. H reagent section, I don't know. The idea is now at this point we'll have the reagent. We will device hash. So we need to define a hash. Define hash silo. Name hash is going to be R15 because that's how I'm naming things. So looking for the silo hash with the block. Oh crap! It's going to be some multiplexing in there, so can't do just that, right? Anyway, quantity, sum. Reagent plus quantity required. So if it's equal to 0, we can still branch, but we do need to do a little bit of processing here. R15. H reagent. That would make more sense. That would make more sense. But however I set this up, it's going to be a shift or something. Now, if I remember right, there's some new instructions with shifting. Shift.
Hunger caution.
Thought I saw some. Maybe not. Thought I saw where you could do a shift and everything select like a bitwise. Extract. Extract, that's what it is. Extract and insert. Okay. Extracts bit field from A, beginning at B, 4C length, and placed into the provided register. Payload cannot exceed 53. Okay. Alright. So we would need to extract this into R. Yeah, let's do it this way. R14. So we're going to extract from H reagent. And starting at, was it starting at bit? Yeah, beginning at B. 4C length. This is just how you encode it. So, we could just say 8. Beginning at 0, go for 8. Now, if that's how I interpret it or not, this will extract the quantity required. And this is all a matter of how it's encoded, of course, and make sure you got it right. We can, at this point, then, and Actually, yeah, and 16. Trying to remember what the is that 32 prefab hash is 32 bits. Okay. 32 bits. So right. That right there is 4 bits, 8 bits, 12, 16. Yeah, so that's 32 bits. So ending 32 bits, I should get rid of the... I can do that. 0, 0, 8, 8. There we go. Check, 0, 8. There we go. That's the number I'm looking for. And then that should give us the actual reagent name hash, hopefully. Then I can call the quantity. Then move offset. Let's see. Move alias H. Well, hang on. So the idea here. My brain's not working. I'm probably not going to stay up too much later. I'm struggling here. So we get item to be made hash, right? Now instead of immediately, this is literally going to be that. So let's load batch name R15. That's going to be our temporary. Silo with the name hash of the H item produced and quantity and sum. Branch less than. If R15 is less than 5, because this is kind of the arbitrary number, branch greater than, actually. So if it's over 5, we'll skip to next item. Next item is going to be adding I cur. Add one to the I cur recipe. Get item to be made. This is... Well, hang on. Branch greater equals 0. H item produced. Jump to next item. Oh, wait a minute. If this is 0, and we actually need to jump to reset. Reset loop. Yeah, there we go. Right, so if that stack is empty, we just jump back, because it's not important. Not important to be reading uninitialized space. Alright, let's go eat and drink. I should also check on that furnace, make sure it
Low
didn't cool
pressure.
off.
Oxygen low. Oxygen critical. Pressure critical. Low pressure. Oxygen low. Oxygen critical. Pressure critical. Temperature critical.
Yeah, it's kind of warm in here. Nobody disappeared on me. Good. I have not been doing my due diligence in the garden.
Hunger critical.
Yeah, hunger critical. Okay, let's fire this back up. Okay. So otherwise we load the quantity of the silo of the item that's produced. If it is greater than 5, then we don't care. We go on to the next item. Otherwise, we start checking recipe. And if the reagent is empty, we can skip to the next section. We don't have to do this extraction. Extract the quantity, the reagent, so we pull the quantity of the reagent. Now, branch less than, branch, not G, okay. If the quantity in the silo is less than the quantity we want or need, then we will jump, I guess, to the next item. Right? Because we can't make it, we're not going to go. We're just going to scan and see if there's something else we can make. That's my thought there. Otherwise, this reagent has passed. So we want to go through this. Okay, so now we're going to add I offset. It's going to be I offset plus 1. Branch greater than. So I offset, that happens to be greater than 5. Then we can go to the next section. Otherwise, we jump yeah, we'll jump to reagent check. That's right here. So we initialize it here. So check and see if we need to actually do it. Initialize the offset. Look at the first reagent. Get the reagent and quantity. If this ends up being 0, then we're done checking reagents. Otherwise, we're going to extract the quantity and then extract the reagent. Check the reagent silo for the quantity. If we don't have enough, then just go to the next item. Otherwise, we're going to add the offset branch to branch greater than. So if we are past our 5 reagents, then we go to the next section. If the reagent is 0, no more reagents in the list. Go to the next section. Okay, so then otherwise we jump back up here because we added one to the offset and just keep going. So if we get to this, we're going to call this, I guess, the next section. I guess we'll call it place order, right? Okay. So if we get to this point, then we want to go ahead and go through the process of creating it. Okay. So this is where we might have to do this again. Essentially all of this. I'm doing all of this again. Yeah. Trying to think. If okay. So we get to the end here, place order, right? We probably want to move dispense to 1, so we make sure that's true. Branch equals 0. B dispense to reagent check. Right? Hang on. How's that going to work? No. That's not where we want to put it. It's this. It's the problem. We can jump to place order. Okay, so I'm checking the reagents, make sure that we've got enough. We make it through this. We set dispense to true. We go through this. So do we dispense at this point if dispense is indeed a thing? Yeah, okay. So we'll trigger a dispense. So maybe that'll be a jump AL. This doesn't actually matter in this particular loop. So let's jump AL, dispense items. Jump RA. Okay, so the idea in this case, we've got our R14 is expected quantity. Let's see, H reagent. Is reagent silo name, expected quantity. Okay, so we can load, let's see, set batch, device hash, silo, name hash is going to be H reagent. And let's pull up that silo. It should be clear memory, right? Clear memory. Clear memory 1. This is what we're doing. Start out, blammo. Then we're going to set batch H silo H reagent open to 1. And then we're going to load batch H silo H reagent. Oh. Do I need to preserve R15? Not after this point. So we can use R15 as our device hash, name hash, export count sum. We want a branch relative. Branch relative less than branch relative less than. So if R15 is less than R14, our expected quantity, then we want to jump back one line. We're going to read it again and 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 again until we have our expected count. And then we are going to set batch H silo H reagent open 0. So we want to close that. And then we can jump back. So we got the items out that we needed. Now, this might also be... This will dispense the items. Now the problem is I've got to also pull up the furnace that it needs to go into. So maybe place order. This is where we start. Right? So in this case, let's add R15 is going to be I recipe address plus an offset of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Furnace. That'll get us a name hash of the furnace that needs to be opened. Or valve closed, actually. Do I need to even do anything with the furnace? Yeah, I probably do, to be honest. Define H furnace. Advanced furnace. Pull that up. Okay, define H. Shoot valve. Shoot valve digital. And it'll be a left. Okay. So at this point, when we dispense items, right? That's actually dispensing. Place order. It gets us our furnace name, right? So we're going to set batch name. Device hash is going to be the furnace. Name hash is going to be R15. Open is going to be 0. H shoot valve 1, R15, open 0. H shoot valve 2, R15, open 0. So we close these. Close these, close that furnace. That'll make sure that'll get there. Oh, set batch name H furnace R15. Clear memory. Yeah, so we will reset the memory on the furnace. We will set the valves to be shut. Furnace to be shut so I'm not throwing stuff out. Okay. And then at this point we Okay, it's too far. Oh. I got a power problem. That's a power problem. Okay.
Oxygen low. Oxygen critical. Low pressure. Pressure critical. Temperature critical.
Let's grab a chunk of charcoal.
Oxygen low.
Okay. Yeah, okay. It's been a while since I've done that. Might even have to throw another chunk out.
Oxygen low.
Well, to be fair, I am cranking hard with the ACs. That's probably all it is. Alright. Funny Moyer effect. How we doing here? Let's see, we have some gas, a little bit of gas, not too much gas. How are we doing on liquid? We got liquid, that's good. How are you doing? You're still, you're really struggling. Okay. Whoop. Let's go check on the furnace real quick, see how that's going. It's actually getting pretty toasty in here.
Low pressure. Oxygen low. Oxygen critical. Pressure critical. Temperature critical.
Yeah, of course you're too far down. Well, the good news is it's not that far off. I don't know if that's going to be able to make it up. Whatever. Not going to work. Not going to work. You have run away. Alright, let's stop bringing stuff in. Ooh, that's a little spicy. It's a little silly, but it'll work. It'll pull the pollutant out of there. Yeah, okay. Ah, crikey.
Low pressure. Oxygen low. Oxygen critical. Pressure critical. Temperature critical.
The gas pipe is looking pretty good. O2 and nitrogen. Let's pop this open, get the O2 out of there. Nitrogen will be all that's left. So at this point now, then we are... Yeah, okay. Yeah, alright. Essentially down to just nitrogen in the lines, so that's good. This is still running away. But I am trying to cool down that degassing furnace. I mean, these 60 kilojoules of heat being dispersed. It's nothing to scoff at. Although I do kind of wonder. These are fighting an uphill battle, so I'm dumping more than 60 kilojoules of energy into that pipe. That's pretty impressive. This thing's only doing 2. Only doing 1 kilo, 2 kilo. Huh. Do I have something screwed up somewhere?
Low pressure. Oxygen low. Oxygen critical. Pressure critical.
There's you.
Temperature
2
critical.
kilo, so that's like 6 kilojoules. I mean, this here might be... If I do that, maybe this will... No, not that. That would make more sense. Right. Yeah, so this is going up, so it's dumping heat. Yeah. Yeah. This is one of the problems I was concerned with. I have to dump that out and figure out a way to separate it out. looks like all the furnaces, with the exception of this guy, are at the operating temperatures they need to be at. So I'm okay with that. Let's position myself so I can actually pay attention to the APCs.
Low pressure. Oxygen low. Oxygen critical. Pressure critical.
And go in here. Make sure that temperature doesn't get too crazy.
Hunger caution. Low pressure. Oxygen low. Oxygen critical. Pressure critical. Temperature critical.
Alright, I get it. Temperature critical. Let's punch up another loaf of bread. And then go back to program. Okay. Yeah, probably about to the end of the line on figuring on this stuff. Okay. So yeah, so we open it up, we clear the memory, we move dispense to 1. At this point, I guess we would jump back to reagent. Check. Is that where we would go? Mm-hmm. It does seem to be where we would go. JAL dispense items, we already figured that out. Let's alias some items are 7. Alright, so the idea here is to go to dispense items. We're going to... R14 is the expected quantity, so that is what we're going to add to some items. It's going to be some items plus R14. Maybe not right there. You know what? Maybe do that. Yeah, we can do that. So that's the expected quantity, because that might vary. We dispense items, we wait for that to dispense, we move to the next thing, we get back down to place order. Okay. Branch greater than 0, or branch greater than 0, be dispense to smelt time. Yeah, sure. Okay, so we place the order unless we already did. Yeah. So that's where we open up the furnace, or well, I should say close down the furnace, close down the valves, clear the memory, wait for the, or tell everything to dispense, then it's going to come back here and we're going to go to smelt. So in this case, What are we on line count? Okay. So in this instance, what we want to do I should have H furnace. Wait a minute, hang on. No, R15. Okay, so this may be. Hang on a second. R15 is an address, so I don't even have the name yet here. So we need to get into R15 is going to be, our device is going to be recipe chip, recipe chip, and at the address of R15. Let's at least do that. So R15 will be the furnace. Okay. At least at this point, so we can save a line by doing that. So now we've got the furnace here. So the real question is, do we want to? There's only one furnace that's going to have to adjust pressure. Okay, so I guess what we need to do here is add our 14, I guess, at this point. We're done with R14 is the expected quantity of the reagent. We don't need that at this point in time, so we can overwrite R14. So R14 is going to be the I recipe address plus 7. And that's target pressure. So in this case, I could actually condense these down too. I could do low and high pressure and just bit shift them. So this is the recipe address, the memory address that we're looking at for the target pressure. We get that. Then yeah, okay. I don't know how tight these have to be. Hastelloy is the tightest pressure range with 500 kPa. So I guess, yeah, all right. Load R13. This is going to be a H furnace. Name hash is going to be R15. Pressure. Maybe I should do an average. Doesn't really matter. Set greater than. If R13 is greater than R14, R13 is going to be R13 minus 100. So this is our low pressure. Right? So set lower than R13 is less than R14. I think this actually might work. And it might take a while, but that's fine, right? Device hash, hash furnace. Name hash is going to be R15. Logic type is going to be setting input. And we're going to directly use 1 and 0. So we're going to be doing 1 liter at a time. I think that's fine. So if it needs pressure, we're going to have 1 in. Doesn't need it, 0. So that works. Add R13 is going to be R13 plus 300. So now we're 150 the other way. Set greater than R12, R13, greater than R14. Lose pressure. And in this case, we will set furnace to of R15 to setting output. And we R12. So same theory. We're going to lose pressure very slowly. Now, when we go from stellite to Inconel in this one particular furnace, that's going to suck. Not Inconel, Electrum. Because we're going to go from 30 megapascal to 2 megapascal, basically. So that's a big drop. But we shouldn't be making too much of that. So here's the thing. Branch relative not equals 0. So if R12 is not equal to 0, then we're going to branch relative one, two, three, four. You know what? We'll just branch not equals 0 to smelt time. And we will do that here as well. So if we are adjusting the pressure, we are going to get okay. Add R14 to iRecipe address 7. So that gives me the index in which we need to do, but we need to get the pressure. The pressure is going to be based on R14 is just the index. That's not going to help me. So I can overwrite R14 with the device is going to be reference recipe chip at R14. So I swear that, oh, I must have done it up here. That's what's going on. Okay, so now we actually have the reference pressure for real. So this might be a very slow setting, but it's fine. Okay. And at this point, we check we have sum of items. Right. Load batch name H furnace. And this is going to be R15. Import count. Oh, right. The index R12. Sure. We'll. At this point, the only thing we need to preserve is R15. So let's go back to R14. Import count. Sum. Average. Sum. Branch relative less than. If R14 is less than sum of items, then we just keep going back until it's correct. Then at this point, we have all the items in the furnace. Temperature, or the pressure is where it should be. Temperature already should be where it's supposed to be. At this case, we should be able to set batch H shoot valve 1 R15 open to 1, set batch H shoot valve 2 R15 open, and then at this point I think we can shoot the furnace out. Yeah, so we can go H furnace R15 open also to 1. I guess at this point. So that should do it. Should do it. So yeah, so we go to smelting after we dispense, place our order, all that fun stuff. So at this point, we're done with the smelt. We eject it. We're happy. We can go on to the next thing. So this doesn't necessarily... Okay, there's one thing that I need to consider, and I'm going to put it at the top of this thing. How furnace is supposed to maintain temperature. Okay, so my thought there is with the temperature, potentially we could run into a problem where oh good, we're going to have a storm. Good, we need that. We could run into a problem where
Oxygen low. Oxygen critical.
If
Low pressure.
I have the chip that's in between the furnaces right now maintain the pressure temperature in the furnace itself by cycling air. When I go to place an order, I have to be able to turn that off because we don't want the pressures to go out of spec. So that's the trouble I'm having. I don't feel like you're losing any temperature. Why? So what are we talking? 2.4 kilojoules of heat exchange. What's your heat exchange rate? Here's 10. So if you follow this, I'm only dumping like 25 kilojoules into the system upstairs. Shit must be struggling or something. I don't know. Keep wandering away, I guess, from my wireless power doohickey. Okay, so I guess I got to put one at the back of the base too. I don't know. Okay, so anyway, I didn't get as far as I wanted to with the furnace code. I guess I should take a trip outside and see how that furnace is out there.
Oxygen low.
1627. Okay. I like how the temperature's actually dropping. These are basically the same temperature now. I feel like I should go ahead and leave that to that. Yeah. I am going to have a little bit of extra cooling available to me during that storm. I may want to consider.
Oxygen low.
I may want to consider. Let's turn you off, I guess. Yeah. Keep that basically just nitrogen, that's fine. I need a little bit of fuel, so let's go get that canister. We'll top it off, maybe throw some fuel in that one furnace. So
Low pressure.
I just want to get
Oxygen
the
low.
temperature in that one
Oxygen
furnace up
critical.
to snuff.
Pressure critical.
Get that hot line
Temperature
hot.
critical.
Which right now it depends on the H2 combustor. And this is probably... I did unload that 115 to 146, so... yeah. Maybe I should inject that with some CO2. Yep, we'll kick this
Low
up
pressure.
and move
Oxygen
on.
critical. Pressure critical. Temperature critical.
Turn that up. And then go ahead and start. Okay, we'll dump this in the furnace, try to heat it up
Oxygen critical. Pressure critical. Temperature critical.
Yeah. Not that far away. Not that far away. But hopefully that extra heat that I dumped into the furnace and stuff will actually make a difference now. But I do need to shut that off so I can
Low
catch
pressure.
up.
Oxygen critical. Pressure critical. Temperature critical.
Let's crank this on. Alright, we're boosting temp. Yeah, so this is... I mean, it's still a little bit of a ways off. And realistically, the only thing I can't make in it, I think, is the stellite. So I could make everything else. So maybe that just needs to wait. 1577 is what I need. It's almost there. It's almost there. This would be further. No, actually, it's as effective as it can be. So, kind of hoping at the. Well, let's actually get quite a bit in there. Yeah, this looks like it might actually make it. And then negative 12, so we are sucking in temperature, yeah, from the room. So that'll work. I think that might work. 67, there we go. Oh, that's that one. This still has 15 degrees to go. But this is climbing in temperature above that that heating threshold of that one furnace, so it won't be too long and this will actually be able to dump some heat into that furnace. So I think we'll leave that running just like that. So next time I guess I got to start putting in the infrastructure for the ordering system and figuring out how when I go about that. I think I'm going to start off simple with just like iron and copper and being able to fulfill that kind of stuff. And then going on to more complex things. For instance...
Low pressure. Oxygen critical. Pressure critical. Temperature critical.
Interesting. So I got some burn damage. Okay. It took a while to kick in, actually, but
Hunger
good to know.
caution.
Good to know. That's from when I opened up the outside of the base. Yeah, okay. So don't do that. That's a bad idea. And I don't think a pill will actually fix my lungs. I could, I've got, let's see, 35. Does that do anything? That does 0. So, yeah. So I gotta set up a cryotube, which... To fix the lungs needs liquid nitrogen. When powered, this device will all kind of... Yeah. So, yeah, liquid nitrogen to repair. So, yeah, I got some work to do if I'm going to get to liquid nitrogen levels. So I guess that's a reminder. So anyway, I think with that we'll call it a night. I didn't get very far in programming the furnace because I was running around trying to do this, that, the other thing, and then apparently trying to nuke my lungs. But all in all, what a night. So with that, I would like to thank everybody for watching, and we will catch you next time.